Hello, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome to Beyond Your Radio and a special edition album listen challenge. This will be the first of 2024. Tonight, the panelists compete for points, trying to figure out the albums they sent me. Do I know them? Did I already know them? They have a chance to score and win a prize. Maybe they're the next person that's going to get 3 albums at once. I don't know if that's a prize or not. But
It's a
before we find out
surprise.
what album, but before we find out what albums they sent, unless of course you can read the things behind me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Right now, it's nearly 95% of the people that watch don't subscribe. I can understand why. If you got a list of 45 or 50 or 200 subscribing, that's a big, long alphabetical list to get through. But if you want to contact us, we'll let you know who you can take away. So you can put us in there. For those of you that have, thank you. And on with the album listen challenge special. Tonight, the 3 panelists have sent me 3 albums, and they're hoping I've never heard it before. Why? Well, because if I haven't, the person who sent me the album scores 2 points. If I have, you get nothing. But it doesn't end there. They get to also challenge and bet for their point on whether or not the other person's album, I had heard it or not. So they have to also guess that at the end, and we'll see who's got the most points and who gets to, the pride and glory. Or maybe it'll be a tie. On the panel tonight, I don't know why I like you, but I do. Alex Kuligowski.
Hi, Alex.
Miss Lucky 7, damn. And
Best
she always
nickname
takes
in
it
this
black.
panel.
Susie Q.
Thank you.
Now, if you don't understand that, don't worry, you will.
I don't know that I want to.
Please remember each panelist will reveal the album they chose for me and why they chose it, maybe something about it, and then it's on to me talking about it and scoring it, just like sort of normal. All right. So let's start out with Alex and his album that he sent me.
Well, I sent you Beautiful People Will Ruin Your Life by the Wombats. This album is a favorite of mine. I think it's some of the best lyricism that I've listened to. And I can't tell if you've listened to it or not. My guess is, even though I sent it to you with the anticipation that you haven't, my guess is you have. And I just couldn't remember if we had ever talked about it or not in the past. I know I've brought it up, but I mean a back and forth about it. So I threw it in there. I'm guessing you have.
Oh,
done.
More on that later. So the Wombats, Beautiful People Will Ruin Your Life. Well, this is really one of London's better powered pop trios, if that's what you want to put them into. I kind of do. They really don't sell themselves as being that unique, which is good because it's kind of in a wheelhouse of normalcy in that genre of music. But they are very good in subtle ways. The songs do grab you and toss you into like a small dance kind of rockin' corner, if you will. Now, the song Lemon to a Knife Fight is probably my favorite on the record. Obviously, you get the idea. It's just clever in the lyrics, as Alex talked about. Most of the album has that, but it's got that swagger, that clever swagger, which makes it a little bit above that, standard. It's a little that makes them unique. Yeah, this is 37 minutes, right? This is just fun. Yeah. They're not trying to reinvent a wheel. They're trying to bring it home. And I would say, if you wanted to, this is kind of a little Strokian, if you will. If you wanted to know what wheelhouse this kind of runs in. I don't know why I like you, but I do, Alex. And that's a really good way to end the record if you don't know the position of the record.
I would say, especially when it comes to the lyrics, this is one of those albums that the more you listen to it, you find something new every time that you weren't expecting. You're half-ass listening to the tracks, and on the 37th listen of it in your life, and you're like, wait a minute, what did he just say? You kind of got to like do the old 10, 15-second little scrubby rewind and play it back again. And I think another thing with this is they can mask some of the darker things that they could say with some of the lighter sounding music.
Yep.
So I think this, and in a weird way, for how much analogies and creativeness they get to, it still feels relatable. And I think that stuck with me too. And it's one of the bands that, from hearing this album, was one of the first to really lead me down a big giant rabbit hole of a band that I didn't know before from the first album that I wanted to hear more of since after. And they kind of kicked that in motion for me too.
I'm pretty sure this was the highest their records ever got, this particular
Yes.
one. This is so not that I'm a huge aficionado, but on the art, the cover's pretty cool. I gave it a 4. Flow, it's a 4. It does keep its flow completely, and as it moves on, there's little jaggards of what they what they want to do. I don't think there was anything wrong with the flow. Musicianship, I gave it a 3. Standard. I don't think anybody's going to do a solo that's going to blow anybody's mind. There's not any clever production on this or trickery. The accessibility, that's a 5. If you can't listen to this, you are in a different genre wheelhouse stuck somewhere, because this is just easy to listen to. It's yeah, you're not going to go, oh, what was that? It's not Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum.
Hell, there's people that could listen to this honestly and not even pay attention to any of the words, just let it run as background music and it wouldn't even phase them.
Yep. Production, I'm going to a 4 because I don't do hats. So is it up there in 5'sville? No, it's not. But they keep it well put together. And considering the year it was made, so that's a 20. Next up, damn, what did you send me?
I sent you an album from 1975, Fish Out of Water by Chris Squire. And Chris Squire was the bassist for Yes. I don't think I heard this album when it first came out. I'd say it was probably a few years down the road once I started to really get into progressive rock and listening to more of the ELP and Yes and those types of bands. He definitely has a very unique voice that I would not want to hear anybody else sing that way, but it's a special place for me. So I always know it's Chris Squire. Let's put it that way. So
Okay.
What does that mean?
I see this cover, and I'm thinking we're going into some plastic dungeon where it's going to be PG-13. Apparently, we're not going into a skinny puppy rabbit hole, obviously, because of the year we're in. So 70s bondage rock. Nope, not 70s bondage rock. Is that even I don't think.
no, it should be.
Well, let's just say the cover, I missed it. I have no idea what the hell's going on there. And
Me
to be
neither.
honest, I think that's where this whole record went. This is Chris Squire of Yes, the bassist of Yes. And I hear bass and I hear progressive, and I was expecting this to go in a little bit different direction. I'll tell you why, and why maybe it didn't. Don't get me wrong. It has the prog. Okay, it doesn't dilute itself in prog at all, and it's got all the signature sounds competing for your attention, as in a Yesian kind of environment. However, there's not a whole bombastic keyboarding thing that'll drive you insane like some Yes can do. But
It's in my head right now.
Not for me.
There's Yes playing in my head right now. Thanks,
I can
Ben.
honestly say
Sorry.
Squire's vocals are. I didn't know how good they are, or if they are, because there's too much going on in this record. It's swallowed up by everything going. You got Bruford on here. I'm expecting a jazz rock album, and all like it's going, and then there jazz rock. I go, oh, okay, here we go. Nope. Right? It's okay. So here it comes. Right? There's one song on here one song that's absolutely freaking killer, and it's how the whole album should have been, and that's Lucky 7.
Yep.
Lucky 7 is a masterpiece.
Yep.
Lucky 7 has everything you were expecting this to be or wanting it to be, right?
Mhm.
It has great flow. It's got jazz rock. It's fantastic. I couldn't think of why you wouldn't love it, no matter who you are listening to this record, right? But when it comes around, you're like, well, wait a second, this does not go with the rest of the album by any means. I didn't think so
Sure.
anyway. So elementally confused prog that seems unfinished in areas to me, except for Lucky 7. I lost interest in the 11-minute track because of all that came before it. It didn't connect. Now, this is 1975. I couldn't place where that would have been in the melee of Yes and where Bruford was, what he was doing. I didn't go that deep. So obviously that may have had something to do with it. This record was produced really fast. Somehow, some way. Like he only had a window because of Yes, or he had a window because of something, because this album tormented this man so much he didn't put out another record for a ridiculous amount of years. Solo.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Yep.
and someone with his talent, I would consider him in the top 100 bassists of all time, possibly, especially in that category. But vocally, I didn't know. There's like two songs that were Yes, felt to
Mhm.
me, right? But so cover 2. I don't know what's I'm gonna be haunted by it forever. You know what? It's like the first Dune. Not good. And when I talk about the first one, that was, with
Yes.
McLaughlin, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Flow 3, only because, yeah, if there were 2 more 7s in there, the flow would have been better than the 3. It would have got to a 4. Musicianship. This is a 4. I think it would have been a 5 had the musicians, because they are really talented individuals, that coming together. Just, I don't know. I imagine they probably, especially Bruford, I would imagine it's got to be a rough session.
Uh-huh.
All those people, like too many witches spoil the brew, maybe.
Yeah.
Accessibility. All right, Prague is a hard accessibility. So
Mhm.
I don't do halves, so I got to go to a 2. Unless you're in the Yes and the Prague and 1970, this is not going to be easily accessible to you, because it doesn't have as much jazz rock as you want it to have. For the easeability. Production, it's a 4. It's well produced. The year it's in, that's crazy that, yeah, it sounds the way it does, but it's not that crazy because of who we're talking about. So they know what they're doing and how they're doing it. So while the score is 15 and not 20, this is a larger uptake. You know what I mean? This is smart rock, prog, and sometimes, like many people who know me go, Mark, Jethro Tull. I don't know why. I tried. I'll go back again with this record because of Lucky 7. But and so there you have it there. So I want to thank Deb for sending that. Susie Q, what did you send me?
Okay, well, I sent you the Weatherman by Gregory Allen Isaacoff. And I heard of this person and started to get into his music on a work trip. It's something that I heard they were playing. My work people are based in Colorado. He lives in Colorado, initially from South Africa. And yeah, I don't know. It's a beautiful sound. I love his voice. I was drawn into the music. This was not the album that I heard initially, but I wanted to find one that maybe you hadn't heard. Uh, you know, I know it's a bad
What
chance, but
was the album you heard with the Colorado Symphony?
No, no.
Okay.
It was actually more of like a happy sound. But anyway,
Okay.
so yes, I just wanted to take a chance because it's a really nice album to listen to. His vocals are beautiful. The music itself is, I just find it nice. It's it's relaxing. It's folksy, but it's not tired sounding. It's not, you know, it's just a good listen overall. So,
Yeah. So Gregory Alan Isaacov, Weatherman. This is 2013. Okay, so when you look at it, you kind of feel like we're in for folk. Maybe it's a little indie bent. We're going to give flavors of the West, and it's a soloist's work. He seems to be not afraid to leave well enough alone. It takes the folk seriously, in my opinion. The lyrics are light and storytelling. There's a few tricks, some indie compliments, but Isaacov is not, again, afraid to just do it simple. Now, I get the idea of the weatherman. So he's a weatherman's like a mystic. It's predicting the future. Yet it's so commonplace that it's predicted that we all don't give a shit. So here's this person that gets on and tells us what tomorrow's gonna be like. Okay. But we're okay with that. But say, yeah, oh yeah, he knows. But this commonplace seems to be how this record goes. His stories are commonplace. It's regular things. But in a beguiling sort of way, but not. I mean, beguiling is probably a little strong, where it makes you maybe think that it's dark, but it's not dark. The pace is just well conceived. The timing is great. His vocals now, baritone, I guess. I'm not a signature person who can tell you what kind of. I mean, it's not
baritone.
it's not
Tenor.
it's yeah.
Not a
I don't know
tenor.
if that. Pardon?
Yeah, it's not a tenor.
But I just know that it has that. It's not that kind of baritone, but it's baritone enough. It's contrast to the playing. That is, I don't know. It's considered a baritone to me. Again, maybe I'm tone deaf. It's not bad is having Nathaniel Ratcliffe backing your vocals. So
Mhm.
I guess
True.
he's in the right wheelhouse of thing. So the cover, I love the cover. That's a 4. The flow of the record is dynamically enough to be a 4 for sure. Just it's longer than I thought it was going to be when I first heard it. Musicianship 4. He knows exactly how he's doing it, what he's doing. It doesn't have to overplay it. Subtle's great. The accessibility. This is probably in the middle range of 3. Some people in the folk realm are going to be. It's going to be perfect. They'd say it's a 5 because it's really easy in that. But those that are not used to folk or want it to be a little bit bent and more moody and pop centric might not feel that this is that accessible. Production. This is pretty easy production, so I just kept it at a 3. I don't think they really went for anything other than just letting the record button go. I would, it's like a Neil Young record. Just get it done, get it, and I don't know if they did first take, second take, or whatnot, but it's just, they don't try to put in a whole bunch of other stuff electronically or pitch it or anything of that nature. I think those are the raw vocals. So, and if they're raw, he's got a beautiful voice for raw. So this is and if you're a folk person and you've never heard of him, he has quite the few records, and a catalog worth exploring. It has not been mentioned on this show before, but was certainly in the idea of Unknown Sundays for sure. So now let's get down to business. All of these albums are worthy for listen for sure. But which of these albums do our panelists believe I've never heard before? So we'll start with Alex's Wombats, Beautiful People Will Ruin Your Life. Let me bring out my record keeper. So, Alex, have I heard it? Yes or no?
Yeah. Gonna bet you
Deb,
have.
have I heard it?
Yes.
Sue, have I heard it?
We'll go with yes.
And if it's a no, that just means how much you ignore any recommendation I truly have.
That's because
Wow.
you're always wrong. Let's just
All
put it
right.
out there, Alex.
Now we'll move to Deb's fish out of water.
Mhm.
Deb, have I heard it before?
I would say no. That's why I chose it. I did not choose it so that it would get a score of 25. I chose it because I thought you hadn't listened to it. So I'm going to say no.
All right. Sue,
Okay.
I'm gonna say no.
Alex,
I'm gonna say you have.
Ooh.
and finally, The Weatherman by Gregory Alan Isakov. Sue, have I heard it before?
Well, I mean, I was really hopeful by the way you were saying things, but then you mentioned something about an unknown Sunday. So I'm gonna say yes.
Alex, have I heard Weatherman before?
Do I believe in the smoke screen? I'm gonna say no. And I just figure I'll shake the scoring up so someone else wins if it's not me. So
I'm going to say no as well.
All right. So, Alex, beautiful people. No, I never heard it before.
damn it.
So no one scores. I do have two of the other albums. And based on the first album that I heard that I liked but didn't go crazy about, I've never listened to anything else after that. Now, I did hear Lemon to a Knife Fight, but I'd never heard the album. So no one gets any points.
Oh,
I like I said, I put it in there because it was still plausible that you hadn't.
Yeah.
should have gone with
Fish
your
Out of
gut.
Water. No. I have
You-
never heard that record before in my life. That is a no.
The
So,
way you talked
Deb,
about Lucky Seven, I thought you might have.
Deb is a 2. Sue gets 1 point. And Alex, you got nothing.
Oh no. Alex is having a bad
I
day.
know.
Can I gift him my points?
And finally, Weatherman. Sue, I have heard of Gregory Alan Isakov. I have listened to Evening Machines and him with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra. I have not heard this record. I was going to listen to it, but somehow I got sidetracked and never went back. So I did not hear it. So what was the album that you heard?
I don't
You don't.
I don't know the album name actually. I was trying to find it. Keep talking and I'll find it.
All right. So I had not heard it. So Deb gets a 1 point there. Alex gets 1 point. And Sue gets nothing. So Deb, you are the winner. You are the winner.
Depending on
You
how many
get
points she gifted
absolutely
me.
nothing.
Just like when I win Oscar Jeopardy, I don't get anything either. I win all the really unimportant things, but hey, it's good for my self-esteem. I can get up in the morning and go to work and do a good job. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, before this went on, now Gregory Isakov, he was born in South Africa, but he was raised in Philly, and then
Oh,
moved
really?
to
Huh.
moved around. So Evening Machines, Gregory Alan Isakov with the Colorado Symphony, great record. I have not heard the 2023 Appaloosa Bones. Somehow I missed that, didn't get to it. So that'll definitely be back on the list. Going to Chris Squire. Mr. Squire, I did listen to his solo record that came after in 2000.
He
Which
went a
is
quarter.
yeah, like 1975 to 2000. All right. That's a long time between.
That's a silver jubilee.
I'm not even sure. Maybe that's not the case. That's the only thing. But Chris Squire was with Billy Sherwood, and they did an album called Conspiracy. Much different record. So I do encourage people to listen to that. I obviously Fish Out of Water. If you're a fan of, yes, you've probably heard that record. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
And as for the Wombats, again, all their records are kind of in the same wheelhouse. I honestly, after hearing this one, I definitely would say it is the better of the albums that I mean, I have 2 albums. I don't I think there's 4 or 5. So anyway,
The
yep.
album was this empty Northern Hemisphere.
The Northern Hemisphere. Okay.
Empty
So prior to, right?
2000.
Yeah. Okay. I want to thank my panelists for doing this, sending me, I'm sure it was a nice change for them. They didn't have to listen to and have to, you know, get on their critique or whatever. So
That
hopefully
was
we'll do
actually
this
fun.
again.
It was a different format. That was
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
I like making Mark guess.
I know.
Mhm.
Awesome.
So I mean, what did you think of these records? Do you have them? Do you listen to them? Have you never heard of them before? Tell us what you think. Your comments and likes are appreciative. Thank you to the, the masses out there. What we got, 72 people that continue to watch. I hope that that does grow. Check us out on beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Thanks for watching and happy listening.
Bye.